Hello and welcome back to Feed the Bees. Once again, thank you for joining me. If you want to see more of these videos, or when I do upload my other videos, make sure you hit subscribe, ding the bell to get notifications of when videos come up, and of course become a member to support the channel. Right, so we're going to jump in straight away to what we're going to be doing this episode. So this is called Feed the Bees. 2 episodes have gone by and we haven't fed a single bee. So this episode we're going to be focusing on building some beehives, looking at resourceful bees as a mod, and we're also going to be grabbing some jars and going and capturing some of the bees out in the world, because I think there are like a whole bunch of bees for all the different types of resources you can gather, and that's super cool. I don't think there's wood bees, but certainly all the metals and the valuable things in the world. Basically, I realized it was going to take me so long just to go around, put down some cobblestone walls, and there was no point in me filming that, so I thought I'd just do it in the background between the episodes, just so that I can focus on the more meaty things to put in these episodes. As you can see in the background, we made some changes to the house. I've added some fence posts and some walls, and basically decorated a little bit the basement. I'll give you a quick tour right now, and we're going to jump right in. Bada boom, bada bing! Welcome to my humble abode. So here we go. We've got all of the chests over here, which is where we're storing all of our junk. Now I need to actually start putting some of the junk in here, because at the moment it's all in my backpack. And I didn't realize this, but if I press F5, you can actually see the backpack on my back. It looks really snazzy. It's huge. It's insane. The amount of space that this bad boy can carry is nuts. You could fit an entire 2 double chests in this bad boy, literally. So we're going to try and split these kind of methodically. I'm going to put the building materials in this chest over here. Okay, so that's our backpack, kind of clear. We've got a few things in here that we'll sort at a later date, but at the moment we've got so much space, we really just don't need to worry whatsoever. So as you can see, yeah, the basement's had a few upgrades. We've got our bed in here. We're going to need to make some more furnaces, I guess. That's why I got the cobblestone out. I think 6 furnaces is a good enough mix, but what we're going to do is, instead of just stacking them on top of each other, oh yeah, now that looks kind of cool. And that beats stacking them, which kind of sucks. And so now we can just like load up these furnaces and be ready to go. As you can see, I've also put a few windows in here to help brighten up the basement. And it's not really a basement actually. It's more like the first floor below the main floor, kind of. It's got a back entrance. It's also got a couple of front entrances that I put in. Take a look over here. Boom. And then I put some stairs at the front. Man, the whole thing looks pretty good. It's a great foundation for our house. We can build all the proper stuff on the next floor, but we're going to have a lot of things that we want to hide underneath. Power wires and cables. Things like that. And that's what this basement is perfect for. Okay, so let's jump in. What do we need to do with resourceful bees to finally catch some bees? Well, Resourceful Bees has a book. I put it somewhere. Oh man, where did I put it? Oh man, here it is, Akashic Tome. It's kind of in-depth. Bees basically work like, I mean, we could read through all this, but the truth is I've kind of read it already, so I can tell you exactly what happens in this thing. We're going to need a couple of things. Bees, I don't know if you know how they work in vanilla, in the basic game of Minecraft, but the way bees work is you put down a bee, it will go towards a flower, it will gather the flower's stuff, and then it will go back to a beehive. It'll sit in the beehive for a bit, and then it'll come back out and eat some more flour. Over time, that hive will gather honey, and when it finally gets enough honey, you can scrape the honey off of the hive, and that's how it works. So there's a few things you need, and they're all things from Resourceful Bees. So if we type in resourceful here, we can take a look. Now there's a lot of bees here. Pretty cool. A lot of bees. Now these are all bees, I think they're all bees you can find out in the world. Maybe some you have to breed, because there is bee breeding, which is kind of like tree breeding, but with a bee instead of a tree, if that makes sense. Yeah. There are big multi-block apiaries, which are like giant hives, but to start with, we're going to want to build just a hive. So can I put in hive here? Here we go. Yeah. So an oak bee nest, these are things you can find out in the world. You don't really build them. What you do is you build a beehive. To build a beehive, you need a bee nest, and grass. And to get a bee nest, I think you just dig them up. I think you just need a tool. I don't think you need anything special. But what you might need is a smoker or a scraper. So before we head out into the world, we're going to build a smoker and a scraper. A scraper is a couple of sticks and some iron. No sweat, we got all that stuff. And we also want a smoker. A smoker is a bellow and a smoker canister. A smoker canister is a campfire and some iron ingots. And a bellow is a bunch of leather. So do we have any spare leather? Basically, the best thing to do is to go and kill some cows. So we're going to do that to get the smoker. And then we're going to build the scraper now because we can. Bish bash bosh, we have a scraper. Now, this is a tool that doesn't have durability, which is great. You don't need to have to keep replacing it, which is pretty key. Okie dokie. So let's wait until night falls, have a sleep, and then we can go and slay some cows. Okay, another glorious morning here on the farm, and it's all about the cow killing right now. So I've got my eyes glued to the mini-map, see if I can spot any of these bovine beasts. And let's 1-2 KO them for their sweet, sweet leather skins. Oh man, are we making a wallet? No. Are we making a jacket? No. Are we making a smoker? Yes, we are. That's exactly what we're making. Did I bring my shears? Let me check my backpack. I ain't got my shears. Well, never mind. Nothing on the radar yet. I see some sheep over there, but that's not what we're looking for. Oh, that guy's still naked. Oh, he must be getting a bit chilly. Oh, now there is a bee. We're going to have to find a way to capture these bad boys and bring them back home so we can start turning them into resources. Oh ho! Our first customer, a cow, at, I believe that is 10 o'clock, coming up to 9 o'clock. And let's just shake this guy down for all the leather he's worth. Come here, lad. Give me that leather. Yeah, that's the good stuff. He didn't have any leather. Great. I wonder if there's a way to kind of guarantee you get more leather from a cow, like kill them. You can't kill them with shears. I don't think you can shear cows, which is a shame. What is this thing? Carbuncle. Well, like from Final Fantasy. Oh! What's going on here? Why is it so dark? Ah, Slime Island, of course. You can pretty much ignore those guys. They're going to burn to death. Well, maybe I'll take them out. Book of Natural Aura. New chapters unlocked. Luscious surroundings. What has gone here? Oh, I don't know, but I'm seeing a lot of flecks in the sky. Oh man, Natural Aura sounds like an exciting mod. Anything that's nature related, I want to dive into because I'm a farmer, right? I'm all about that nature goodness. But we're also going to be industrial farmers, so we're going to be about the tech goodness as well. Looking for the chest. Oh, second try this time. Take a look inside. Oh, not quite as lucky as our first score. We did get a couple more constellations, but no iron bars or any of the good stuff like that. So we're still looking for elk cows. We need 6. Oh no, we've got 6 leather. Let's go home and make these bellows. Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin. We've got a campfire, and that is used to make a smoker canister. We'll make that. We'll put this next to the bellows. Ho, 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 ho. So we've got a scraper and a bee smoker. The final thing on our list of things to grab. Let me just tidy up in here. The glass that we're turning into bee jars. Now 15 will make us 16, 32, 48. So we're going along the bottom and there, and then we just spread these out Oh, wait, no. Ooh. Oh, I miscalculated. We're short by 1, 2, 3 bits of sand. Well, that's fine. We should be okay because I've got 32 bee jars for us to go on our bee hunting adventure. Ho, 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 ho. The sun is setting. Perfect timing. Because tomorrow morning we're going to catch ourselves some of the best bees this farm has ever seen. Ho, ho. Okay. I will see you in the morning. Good night, dudes. And I'll see you guys in the morning. Let's have a sleep. Oh, yes, we got the achievement. You put bees in this because this is where the bees go. Empty bee jars. Let's fill these bee jars. Let's make them filled bee jars. So we are looking for any old bee right now. I do not believe the bees show up on the minimap, so we can't rely on the computer here. We've got to keep our 2 eyeballs peeled sharper than any onion or potato or carrot, or what else do you peel? Peel an onion, peel a carrot, peel a potato, peel a bee. I wouldn't want to peel a bee. Okay, so we're looking for bees. Eyes peeled for bees. Scan the horizon for bees. That's a chicken, not a bee. Aha! Our first customer. Wait, you're not a bee? What the hell? You're a sylph. I wonder if I can put that in a jar, though. Let's try. Get these torches out of my right hand. No, he isn't going in the jar. I don't know why I expected he would. Whoa, look at... Ooh. Ooh. Whoa. See you later, boy. I wonder if slimes melt in the water. Probably. Looks like they sink. Sink to their doom. This is a big old cliff. Aha! Our first bee. There we go. It's bright blue. Who knows what it could be? Hadoink. Oh, look at that. We've got our own little unique achievements. Holy crap. Celebrate. Celebrate the good times. Let's take a look. What is it? It's an icy bee. Aha! Our second customer. Another bee. What are you? RGB. Bada-bada-bing. A filled bee jar with an RGB. So there's one curious thing. You might be thinking, hang on a sec, I've played this game, and on my version, RGBs glow all the colors of the rainbow. So there is a slight problem with using... Oh, he went inside his house. There's a slight problem with using shaders, and that is that RGBs glow crazy. They glow white, which honestly, I'm going to kind of like headcanon and say they glow white because white is what you get when you mix all the colors. They're RGB, they're all the colors, so they're white. I think that makes sense. That might actually be the reason why they glow white with shaders, so who knows. There's a bee. Oh man, we are finding all the bees now. This looks like a creeper bee, like a TNT. He's got a weird frown. Who's this guy? A black bee. Ooh. Oh, it's a spider bee. We are finding so many bees. A grass bee nest. So smoked, false, honey level 0. So you can use just bee nests as a way to farm bee stuff. So what happens when I try and dig this? Let's smoke it. So you right click with the smoker. Oh man, that's the dankest kush. Poof. So we smoked the hive and it gives you a smoke time. And then what happens if I use the scraper on it? Oh, I get a box. I get the bee nest. Okay. Anyway, there were some nests around here as well. Let's see if we can find them. Oh man. These sweet berry bushes, again, almost killing me. There he is. Another customer. Hello, hello. So it doesn't really matter which bees we get at the moment because the most important resource going forwards for us next, stage 2 of our rise to bee power, is going to be any old honey. We just need any old honey from these bees. And they all make honey. It's always a different kind of honey, but they all make it. So just any old bee will do. Oh man, these sweet berry bushes are going to kick my butt. So I heard the sound of a bee going into a nest. Or was it a bee coming out? There's one down here. Now, ideally, we want 2 of every bee type. We've got 2 creeper beepers, 2 creeper bees. We've got 3. We've got 3 icy bees. But if we can find a second spider bee and a second RG bee, we can breed them and make more bees. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what we want. Self-sustaining bee production. So as always, like, I'm only just starting with all the mods 6, and while that is very cool, the mod pack itself is amazing, and I can't wait to learn more about it, I'm always open to tips and tricks. So if you have any ideas, like if you're thinking like, oh man, you should be using this tool, or you should be trying this, definitely drop it in the comments section. For one, I'm not quite sure how to automate beehives. It's something I tried dabbling around with, but I wasn't sure the best way to do it. I tried using clocks and stuff, but it was a really tricky thing to do, to automate the bees. I had to always go to the hives manually, which is okay, doing everything manual, but if there is a way to automate it, I can just basically go and have my tea, go and have some dinner, and leave the bees on in the background to do their thing. Ooh, sun is setting, but I feel like there's way more room to gather some more bees out here. So I'm going to be... Oh, there's one, for example. I'm going to be sleeping out here, I think. We're going to call it a late one. Right, so we're back at base. We've got 1 jar left. We didn't find any bees on the way back, but that's okay. We'll save that jar for another day. So we have a pack full of bees. Cool. Well, what are we going to do with the bees? Now, I said we were going to build a beehive, but all the mods has rebalanced things for resourceful bees, because bees are crazy good for getting us materials. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go to tier 0 instead to start with, unless you guys can think of another way to get grass. Actually, in the comments section, let me know if there's a cool way to get grass that's quite easy in all the mod 6. But until then, we're going to be going with the bee nests, which is okay, because we did actually grab quite a few while we were out and about. In fact, let's count them all now. 1, 2, 5 bee nests, and each bee nest can hold 2 bees, so we can get 10 bees on the go to start with. And before we end this episode, we're going to put down these bee nests and get that thing going, so that we can earn honeycombs in the background while we're doing other things. So let's do it. We're going to put down the birch bee nest over here. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 blocks we're going to go over. There's no real rhyme or reason to why I'm going 5 blocks away. It's just nice to keep them separate so I can see what's going on with them. And we've got roughly enough room for 5 different nests over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. Oh, this donkey is in our way, though. I'm just going to give him a nudge out of the way. I don't want to kill him, because horses are actually kind of useful. And maybe we can get a stables at some point and actually tame this bad boy and ride him around. That would make getting across the world so much quicker. Okay, so we've got these bee nests down. So there's another thing with bees. Bees live in a bee nest, or a beehive, or an apiary. They come out and they eat flowers, go home and make the honey, but each bee needs a special kind of flower. Some of the earlier bees, like RG bees, for example, will eat any old flower, but some of the later ones, and some of the more complex ones, have a very delicate appetite and they want specific vegetation or flowers to make honey from. So first up, we're going to get the RGBs out. We're going to get 2 of these in 2 hives, easy enough. And RGBs are very simple to feed because they eat any old flower. They'll eat anything. How do I know this? Well, a bit of expertise. That's the only bee I know anything about, though. So we could use trial and error to see what the rest eat. However, I'm fairly sure that most of the early starter bees will eat any old flower. So if you look in Resourceful Bees, you'll see here there's like a computer-looking thing. There's a creative one. I'm not quite sure what that's for. But there's a Beepedia here. Use on a bee to see its information. It's not too hard to make, but we will need some honey to actually make it. So it's going to happen down the line. And then redstone dust, stained glass, iron ingots. So we've got to get some bees down and eating before we can actually do this thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some lavenders. I know RGBs will eat lavenders. So we're going to use these 2 hives to make some honey and get the ball rolling. We're going to put the flowers pretty close. Basically, the bees will come out, eat the flower, and then go back to the hive. So you want these pretty much as close to the hive as possible. But we also want it to look nice, so we're going to put them a little bit back. So let's see if this works. Put down a bee. He's gone inside his hive. Cool. I think that's what we want. Another bee. In he goes. Bees in there, 2 of 2. Honey level 0. Smoked, false. And then we put some more RGBs down here. So, down we go. In he goes. And then another one. Oh, where's he going? What's he doing? Oh, he didn't have any honey on him. So he's going over here to eat the lavender. We can just leave these bad boys to it, I think. But what we'll actually do is we're going to put down some lavenders in front of these hives as well. And we're going to put our bees into these hives. Which bees do we have a lot of? Ice. Icy bees might be useful. Snow might be a useful thing. Spider bees might get you string. That'll be interesting and useful. I don't know what mystical bees get you, but we can try that. And zombies, I guess they get you zombie flesh. So thinking about it, what do we have 2 of that looks like an interesting kind of bee? Maybe a mason bee. That could get us some stone. That might be useful. And we're going to use a spooky bee as well, because bones and bone meal, very useful going forwards. So let's run a quick test and see if these bees actually eat lavenders as well. They might do. What are you doing? You going for the lavender? You ain't going for the lavender. Where you going, son? So instead of using a bee and bee encyclopedia, we can just follow a bee around, see what he wants to eat. What do you want to eat, son? What's your favorite flower? Do you see anything you like? I don't know what he... Maybe there's nothing he likes. Definitely doesn't like lavender, does he? Where are you going? What do you smell? Is this going to work? I don't know if this is going to work. Oh, he's going nowhere, isn't he? He's roaming around trying to find something to eat, but he's not finding anything he likes the taste of. So we're going to put him back in his jar. So we're going to just stick with the RGBs for the time being. We definitely know these guys can make honey. We can get this honey. Oh, and even then, look, here we go. The graphic has changed. These things are full of honey. So the way you get the honey out is you smoke them. Smoke time is up. And then you scrape them. And you get the honeycomb. Then you rinse, repeat over here. Smoke it. Scrape it. And bada bing, bada boom, we got ourselves 6 RGB honeycombs. Boom! Oh man, so we're finally on the road to getting bees to work. I'm going to have myself a smoke, have myself a pancake, and I'm going to leave these guys to do their thing. Next episode, we're going to get some honeycomb together, and we're going to work on the next part of how resourceful bees work. It's going to be pretty cool. We're going to have to use a centrifuge to spin the honeycombs and get the honey out. That'll mean we can get our beepedia, and it'll also mean we can start breeding different types of bees. Anyway, there's also other things that we can take care of as well. There's a lot of things we need to do regarding storage. actually gathering materials as well, ore processing. These things will get us, I think, iron ore, maybe, or ores, but we'll have to find a way to double that or triple that ore as well. There's also super high-level tech and magic to think about, and that's on the side of all the other farming that we're going to have to do in the end. So if there's anything you can think of, any suggestions you have to make for me on the farm, drop a comment below and I'll check it out. As always, hit subscribe, ding the notification bell to see what's going on, and become a member to help the channel. But until next time, take care.